over the past decade, probably the biggest change has been really managing stress. So whether it's heart rate monitor systems or the GPS systems or daily, you can use daily questionnaires. It's like a 5-question subjective, see how the athletes are doing, has really become the biggest change. So here we have our heart rate monitor system. We use a system from First Beat Sports. What it is records in real time, so every player is wearing a heart rate strap as they're on the ice. There's a little receiver up in the corner, and it'll capture everything in real time. The one thing that I really look for is this score is a TRIMP score. It's essentially a measure of volume. So we look at volume compared to time, and that lets us know sort of how difficult practice is. So if it's an easy day, you might see a 1-to-1 ratio. So this would be 38, and you'd probably see a 38 there. That would be something like a morning skate. A hard practice is typically about 1.5, which is right where we're at now. So we'll probably end up at 40 minutes and 60, so 1.5. And a real hard day is generally 2-to-1. So by measuring the intensity and workload of practice, we know if we're doing too much or doing too little and sort of hit that sweet spot every day. I think the injuries you see a lot with younger populations are probably just overuse injuries. You get a lot of kids that play the same sports year-round, so you're not really ever getting out of those movement patterns, and you're just doing the same thing over and over again, and eventually the tissue just can't handle it anymore and breaks down. With our guys, so actually that even applies to our players, like we don't want guys to skate in the off-season. So we push track workouts hard. Like we want guys to run to get them back into a more sagittal plane and get them out of here, because they're here, 9 months out of the year. And people look at us and say, like, why do you bench press? That's old school. But the fact of the matter is hockey's the fastest sport with the highest speed collisions, and having muscular shoulders is going to hold them together. So while having a big bench press might not help with a slap shot, it is going to help with getting smashed into the boards and having your joints maintain integrity and not get injured. Basically all their profiles here, you'd come in, you just select your picture off a list. Normally we would have the lift already set, so it's set on deadlift. Say he's going at 245 pounds, he just hits prepare. And then all he's got to do is start the exercise. When he starts the exercise and the string starts to move on the device, it'll start recording. And it gives them just instantaneous feedback on bar speed and power. So we can determine our workouts based off of speed instead of being kind of set into a percentage. When it comes to sort of recovery and feeling good throughout the year, nutrition and sleep are paramount. They're everything. I mean, they're everything. People love to talk about cold tubs, compression garments, pneumatic air compression devices that help with like lymphatic return, flush rides, massages, foam rollers, stretching. And while all that stuff has value, you can't replace nutrition and sleep. I mean, nutrition and sleep are everything. To set the guys up for success, we do provide breakfast and lunch every day. We'll provide post-game meals. We have breakfast and lunch on the road. So there's pretty much always food around, so we can make sure these guys are adequately fueled. So every day there's going to be a lean protein option, whether it's pork, chicken, beef tenderloin, salmon. We rotate our proteins. There'll always be a starch carbohydrate option. Usually it's potatoes, mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes, rice. And then there's always a vegetable option for fiber and actually some micronutrition. Always have a salad, plenty of fresh fruit. They cut fruit every day. Really with anyone, like it's all about progress, not perfection. And really just kind of, you don't want to bite off more than you can chew. So even with myself, my in-season training, it drops off during the season for sure. But I mean, I still get it done. I just keep it to the minimums. And really it's just kind of the ebb and flow of motivation. Say you're not feeling very motivated, just keep training. You can cut your workouts down to a quarter or a half of what you were doing previously and just get through that funk, but don't stop. And then once you feel motivated again, you can just ramp it right back up.